Good morning, Mike's Diabetes World. We're up. It's a cool start, but we'll get up to 23. What I'd like to talk to you today about is specialists. And who should you really see? And do they do anything to contribute to health? Hi, it's Mike. Just wanted to interject here that I am not a doctor or a certified diabetes educator. Any ideas you take from these videos, you should get checked with your doctor. Okay, so you've been diagnosed. Your doctor has probably admitted you to the hospital. Either you've gone in through emergency or you've pretty well just went to your doctor and they said, oh, well, you're diabetic. Either or, you'll have to go into the hospital. Now, when I went into the hospital, I met a specialist, and my doctor hooked me up with this specialist, and it was his name. Oh, I shouldn't be using names. I'm sure this doctor has passed on now, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I'm sure this doctor knew what he was talking about. He probably has done it for years. And this doctor didn't really understand young teenagers. I was just 13. I had just started my teenage years, and his whole philosophy was do it my way, and that's it. The highway. He didn't really communicate, and it doesn't matter what specialist you get. You need to be able to communicate with them. Now, when you go to the hospital, more than likely, I'm just watching Nico here. More than likely, you're going to get the luck of the draw. Now, I got this doctor. He probably was like I said, a very knowledgeable doctor. He just could not relate to kids. And I didn't really see him. But on the flip coin, and again, this was just the luck of the draw, I got one of the best endocrinologists I've ever had. Well, present company excluded, only because I just started my journey with him. We really haven't done much. But I met the best endocrinologist I've ever had. And there's been times during our journey where I didn't really follow the best route. But But she always had a way of, making sure things worked out. And even if she had to give you hell, she did it in such a positive way. And I had her for over 20 years. I can't believe that. But she was probably the best one to have when I started to really act up. And it wasn't my fault. Like my body was acting up. It's probably the best way to put it. So we need to be aware, because so often with the specialists and whoever you have, you go and you see them maybe for half an hour, 15 minutes, and then I should say half an hour if you're lucky. And you have to feel like there's a connection. You have to be happy with your doctor. Now, a lot of times we don't connect, but you've got to remember, it's your life. It's your health. So you need to be able to work together. Now, I have a new endocrinologist, and this is the first one I chose. And it's a real positive growth. And, he has some different ideas, and that's part of the growing. Just because your specialist has different ideas, you've got to be open to it. Your journey with diabetes is growth. It's not sort of, oh, well, we'll just check what your blood sugar is and how well you're doing, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't do well for you. You have to have someone who's a little challenging. Now, that goes for anyone on your team. Your doctor may know some specialists. I went and saw Dr. Ross. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say names. But for my eyes, and a lot of people say he's standoffish. He sees an awful lot of people. But he knows his craft extremely well. And he can determine what's wrong very quickly, and he knows the treatment. And if you are severe, he will stop everything and make sure you are seen to get treatment ASAP. So I understand this. A lot of people may not. My other team members, I have a diabetic, what do you want to call them, a diabetic educational center nurse that I usually get. And I think they started putting me with her because of how problematic I am. And she worked well with my first endo, I guess. Well, Dr. Walls. Now I'm with Dr. Shu. She knows and works with him too. So I can keep going seeing her. So there's going to be some continuity. Well, there, we're in the shade now of the trees. Always smells so fresh. Now, in there, I see a dietitian. Now, I don't know. I've always sort of had problems with dietitians, pure and simple. And sorry, it's not really a problem, but it's always would always come in. Oh well, you should be doing this, and you should be doing that, and I'm not one to sort of be told. I am more one that instead I am one who, have you tried? That to me is a better way of working on things. And you can really get educated better that way. And I feel more one-on-one communication will work the best. So often we are drawn, oh well, I have to see this doctor. This is the one my doctor has chosen for me. But really, if you're not learning anything, you're not really going to do it if they suggest something. But so often people get stuck and then they're not really doing anything. And then the connection breaks down and people fall by the wayside, and their care, they keep doing the exact same thing. Well, that's the way I was taught. So if you go to a doctor that your physician has suggested, be truthful. If they're not with it, or not with it, but a connection for you, then ask for another one. Or, as you move on, you will find doctors that you like. You may find them in the hospital. There are good doctors out there. And years ago, when I was growing up with diabetes, you pretty well went with whatever the doctor said. But now, diabetes, or type 1 diabetes, especially when you move on into your adult years, is you're self-driven. So you have to have team members, and they are exactly that, team members. They've got to live up, and so often while you go and you get asked questions, and then you're kind of forced into that person or doctor. Why don't you go with questions? Ask them, what do they think about it? What do you think about the newest techniques? Or don't just sit there and for the status quo. Find doctors who work for you, and that goes for dietitians, social workers, nurse practitioners, and a lot of times it's nothing that they have done. And I mean, it's not sort of like, oh, they don't really know what they're doing. Sometimes you connect with people differently than you connect with others. Now, if you just took a group of people that didn't know anyone, put them into a room, you would get people that get along with others and people that don't. You need to be aware of this and build your team. And that can go your doctors, if you're into physio, that goes for your physio. Find people that work for you and build your awesome team. Anyway, have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.